Hey, good evening, folks. Yeah, gonna be talking a little dirt bike action here. Uh, yeah, this is our current trail bike. I think it's an old 2004 RM 250, and I've always had Suzuki's in the past. And my first bike, wish I still had that thing. I had a 78 RM 125. That book's so wore out from me looking through it. Yeah, I really miss that bike. And this is a new bike to me. I mean, it's got the water cooled 2-cycle. I believe they got some type of special. They called it an exhaust valve in there. And I think that thing will move and it changes the compression ratio somewhat. I've never had the part. I'm not real familiar with it. But you can tell when you get down below a certain RPM, that thing will kind of change. I'm pretty sure it changes the sound of the motor. It changed the compression too. But I first got this thing. I've had it 7 or 8 years, and we just trail ride with it around the farm. And then motocross bikes, they got. I the first gear will be real tall on them, a little too fast for trails. The first thing we did to tame this thing down, really changed it. We put a 60 tooth sprocket on the back. Look at big old. We had a 49. There's the original 49. I mean, big difference in it. I want to say we had a 13 tooth on the front. I believe I got an 11 tooth now. We ordered the smallest sprocket they could get, and I custom made this one. I just bought this 60 tooth at a local gear shop, Tri-State Bearing. This is a number 50 standard chain, 60 tooth, and I'd forgotten this from my childhood. And I believe this is 428 chain. But the number 50 would run on a metric sprocket. I remember that as a kid because we'd always get chains off of Grandpa's farm equipment. You know, he'd have an old chain. We'd stick it on our dirt bikes and ride around. But that was a game changer on that. You can kind of putt around on it. And top speed, I'm gonna say top cruising speed is probably 30. I mean, it'll go faster, but you're winding it pretty good, which is fine for me. We don't go very far on it anyway. But that, I'm in my early 50s, and I don't heal up as fast. We don't need to go that fast. I wanted something that had more low end torque, and you can still get tore up on it. I mean, it takes off good, but yeah, we chucked that sprocket, or this sprocket has small, about a 1-inch hole in it, and we put that in lathe and cut that all out and kind of countersunk our holes here just like that, and made a huge difference. Totally different bike. Totally different bike. And I couldn't help it. I'm gonna keep this one. I like it. I'm looking for something that's actually a trail bike. It's 4-cycle. And back when I was growing up in the 70s and early 80s, these manufacturers just had a multitude of different enduros, dirt bikes. And we're gonna break out. Yeah, we got Memorabilia, and all these brochures are from like 78 to 1982. There's your RM series Suzuki 60. They had a 60, an 80, and a 100. Nice looking bikes. I had a buddy that had that 100. You know, they was pretty mean. The 80s was pretty mean. But them 100s, an adult could ride them. That was a big It was a large frame. I think it had the bigger, same size as the rest of the RM series. Nice bikes. And they had this RS. They had a headlight on them. They was more like an enduro style bike. Nice looking bikes. There's a bigger picture of them RS's. 175. 175 is common. Yamaha had the ITs. I remember they was 175. Or DS. There's a DS. They had so many different. I'll tell you something else. I really liked the seats on those bikes in the late 70s. They had a lot better. I don't care for these seats they got today. These banana looking. Oh, kind of like on that thing. It's kind of uncomfortable. Just for trail riding. Hey, trail buddy. Suzuki. Don't see any three. There's a one LT 120. We actually have one. We have that. It's over in the other shed. I ought to get that out. But it's an 83. It's pretty good. Pretty good old four-wheelers. It gets around okay with just one person on it. Oh my goodness. The dreaded, now hang on folks, the dreaded Yamaha 465, 1981. Oh my goodness, what a bike. And once again, look at the seat. I love those seats. Those things was comfortable. 460, man, that thing would get you down, skin you up, I'll bet. And once again, they had here's a Yamaha XT. That was more of a street / dirt. And then you had a TT. That'd be TT 500 4-cycle. That'd be a torque monster. They had so many different bikes to choose from. Just from one company. There's the MX 175. Those was nice. And what I'm noticing is today you don't have near the here we're getting back XT. There's a TT 250. There's the XT, more of a road style. It's still off-road capabilities. Honda XR 200 1982. Yep. Three of my buddies had those. And them was nice bikes. Once again, look at that seat. Comfortable. Those was nice bikes. The lasted forever, very little trouble with them. Had a lot of torque. Yeah, them was nice. XR 100. Well, I'd love to have one of those today. Oh, we got another get you down and scrape you up. CR 480R 1982. That thing, my goodness. Yeah, in case you guys are wondering, when I was, gosh, I don't know, I was probably CR80. 10 or 12, I'd go into them motorcycle shops and I'd collect these brochures. I never did get a new motorcycle. I bought my old RM at 78 was a used one. It was probably 5 or 6 years old when I first got it. Now there's a nice bike. There's a nice 80. 1980 CR80R. I still use that Elsinore term. Nice ripper there. More Yamaha. I don't have any Yamaha ITs. Wish I had a Yamaha MX, 100 MX, 175 MX. think these are 1981. Yeah. The memories. I guess these things, boy, if you got them now, they're worth quite a bit of money, them dirt bikes. They got that vintage racing. But no, they don't seem to, these companies don't seem to offer the variety that they used to. Got to get them green ones. KX80. Once again, look at the seat. Same style. God. I wonder if somebody could make a seat like that. KX420. Yeah, I like that. KX80. KDX80, sorry. KDX. KDX80. That was a nice bike. KDX80. KX125. Them was nice bikes. KLX 250. Yeah, there. That getting back to more. It had a tail light and a headlight on it. See, I'm looking. I don't think I'm gonna buy a new one. I'm gonna look around for a used one. But they got this. I believe it's a Kawasaki KLX. It's called a 140 now. Is it FR? Because it's got the large front wheel and the large back wheel. So it's got that 140 cubic centimeter engine, and that it looks like a neat trail bike that something me and the kids could both ride. I just don't. I'm not gonna turn my kids loose on that 250 KDX 175. 175. It was just back in the 70s and 80s. That was a common. There's a lot of them around them 175s. I could just go on and on. On and on and on. Honda. Got more Hondas. XL. The XL was kind of the street / dirt bike. Yeah, I had several buddies here. There's the little Z50R. Those were cool. Those were tough little bikes. A couple buddies had them. Neat stuff. Neat stuff. Yeah. Fun to look back on that stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck between I still kind of bleed yellow. You know, I've always had them Suzukis, always liked them. And we got a Suzuki dealer close by, about 25 miles from home. They got this would be a new bike. Is it DR-Z 125L? You know, I think it's got the bigger tires on it or something like that. 125. So I'm stuck between that 125 versus the Kawasaki 140. I think that 140 is a little more money. It's another $500 or $600, but I don't know. We'll keep looking around. You guys shoot me your opinion on them. Between them two bikes, that Kawasaki 140 KLX versus that Suzuki 125. I'll fire this thing up. I'm not going to do nothing fancy because, like I said, I don't heal up as fast as I used to. Just fire it up and putt around on it. That's all I'm going to do. But yeah, changing that gear ratio sure made a big difference. Big difference. I don't need to go that fast. I need the extra torque. said, you really put around on it. This thing, here's the kickstand they send you with it. I need to put a regular kickstand on it. Yeah, a big old change in gear ratio. Well, it works the same way in trucks. You change your gear ratio, you got a different truck out of it. Well, folks, I'm gonna catch you later. I'm gonna keep looking at bikes and go from there. Happy riding, folks.